Hello, BookTube. Okay. Well, first you had a big mail haul, and then you had another big mail haul, and now more books coming in the mail. As I am starting to wonder about this week. This may be a record week for book acquisitions of all kinds, but this should be the last mail haul of the week. I'm fairly certain, unless something arrives that I don't expect later in the day. This should be it. If something arrives later in the day and it's enough books, then I'll make a video. But if it's just one or two, I might spare your feed this face. But we got 3 books here, so let's see what we have. Let's see what's of interest here. Okay, this first one is Not Coming Quietly. I never know what to make of that. Usually, as I've said many times on this channel, usually the more of a fight they put up, the less worthwhile they are. What have we got here? Oh my, okay, alright, well, this is an exception to the rule. Wow, okay, this comes out in May by one of my favorite living historians. This is Apostles of Revolution by John Ferling, with the subtitle being Jefferson, Paine, Monroe, and the Struggle Against the Old Order in America and Europe, which is he's a deep thinker and a very complex writer. Wow, fantastic. Okay. So what have we got here? Thomas Jefferson, Thomas Paine, and James Monroe were in the vanguard of revolutionary ideas in the 18th century. As founding fathers, they risked their lives for American independence, but they also wanted more. Each wished for profound changes in the political and social fabric of pre-1776 America, and hoped that the American Revolution would spark republican and egalitarian revolutions throughout Europe, sweeping away the old monarchical order. Ultimately, each rejoiced at the opportunity to be part of the French Revolution, a cause that became untenable as idealism gave way to bloody terror. Apostles of Revolution spans a crucial period in Western civilization, ranging from the American insurgency against Great Britain to the Declaration of Independence, from desperate engagements on American battlefields to the threat posed to the democratic and egalitarian ideals of the Revolution by the Federalist Party. With the French Revolution devolving into anarchy in the background, the era culminates with the Revolution of 1800, Jefferson's election as president. Oh boy. All right, that sounds good. Sounds multifaceted, which is, we will always make this stuff great to read. Wow, fantastic. Okay, so we're off to a fine start. Let's see here. Let's see what this next one is. I make a sort of an informal thing, just an informal practice that I'm doing in any given week. You might have noticed it if you've been watching videos here in this book room. It's way too cold to film anywhere else in Hyde Cottage, so I film it in this little book room. And what I do every week is make piles right here of that week's books. And there's no way that you can see here, but there's a ton of books here. There's two gigantic piles in the back and a gigantic pile in the front. Just tall piles of books. And I've often wondered if that's my practice and if I want to stick to it, if I'm not repatriating any books into the rest of the collection until the week is over, what would happen if I encountered a week where I reached critical capacity before that happened, before the last shipment on Saturday? What if these piles were so tall that they couldn't go any taller and I had more books to do? And I don't know what's going to happen if this will be the case. It's only 3 books, so maybe not. What have we got? What's this next one here? Oh, great. Okay, great. I requested this. This is due in July, and this is William Atkins' The Immeasurable World, Journeys in the Desert Places. It's all about the author's treks through various deserts of the world. And I can't wait to read it because I have spent enormous amounts of time in the deserts of the earth. And I have almost no positive reports to bring back from those places. I've spent an enormous amount of time in desert civilizations. And I've also spent an enormous amount of time in the actual hardcore, with the typical thing people think of when they think of the desert, is just an endless sea of sand dunes. And I spent time there as well. And it's I don't really like camels at all, and you're stuck with them for a lot of desert travel, and they're horrid creatures. So there are many stories. So when I saw this, I thought, well, come July, I would like to write about it somewhere, if not for Open Letters Review, then for somewhere else. And I'm fairly certain, when I do, that I will be the critic who has spent the most time in deserts who reviews it. That of all the critics who review it, I will be the one who's most familiar with deserts, including more familiar than the author. But we shall see. We shall see. I will wait and see. I'll report back on my success. And then there's the last one. Could be the last one for the week. It's very striking. Whatever it is, it's very striking. Okay. This comes out in late May. I don't recall requesting it. But look at the cover of the advance copy. Isn't that awesome? The book is Lies You Never Told Me. And all of the folderol is on the back cover. It's by Jennifer Donaldson. That what I wouldn't give, I know they won't do it, but what I wouldn't give if they had the courage to make that the cover of the book. Just nothing. Just you have to look elsewhere for all the information. That would be so awesome. But what have we got here? Looks like a thriller of some kind. Let's see here. Gabe and Elise have never met, but both have made the mistake of falling for the wrong person and falling hard. Elise is shocked when she's cast as the lead in her Portland High School production of Romeo and Juliet. Oh, so she's a high school student. Her best friend is usually the star, and quiet, shy Elise isn't sure she's up to the task. That is, until she catches someone's eye at rehearsals, someone she knows she should never be with, but never say never. In Austin, Texas, Gabe is contemplating the unthinkable, breaking up with Sasha, his impulsive, popular girlfriend. Okay, that's not the unthinkable, though. that's okay. That's very thinkable. That's the teenagers think of little else. So contemplating the unthinkable would be that in Austin, Texas, Gabe has decided that he's sexually attracted to his brother. That would be contemplating the unthinkable. Breaking up with a girlfriend is not. She's always had a fiery temper, so she's not going to let him slip through her fingers, even if it means destroying him. With breathtaking twists, forbidden romances, and deadly secrets, Jennifer Donaldson's scandalous, thrilling novel reveals how one bad choice can blaze out of control, burning everything and everyone in its path. Lies You Never Told Me is the perfect summer beach read. I love it. With a sizzling, slow-burn romance, suspenseful twists, and a completely shocking end, this is the book you will need to read again as soon as you finish it, and then want to share with all of your friends. Okay, I realize the person who wrote this is a publicist, but those are big promises to make. Publicists can write pub sheets without saying things like that, right? Because the two things that were mentioned there are sacred to us readers. They don't happen all the time at all. We take them very, very seriously. So I'm hoping this publicist isn't just slinging these things around. Those two things are the type of book you read again as soon as you finish it, and the type of book that you immediately want to press into the hands of all your friends. Those are real. Those reactions to books are real. But, oh my, whoever wrote this publicity sheet, if they didn't actually experience those two things themselves when they read this book, they have no business promising it. You can promise a great summer beach read, sure, because there's many of those as there are people going to the beach. You can promise a thrilling book, because thrilling is, it's as flexible as the day is long. But those two things, the kind of book that you want to reread the minute you finish reading it, and the kind of book you want to put in the hands of all your friends, those are real, and they're very specific. So we'll see. I think it would be absolutely great if this book is that. I will certainly give it a try. And let's see here. Jennifer Donaldson graduated from Reed College and received an MFA from the University of Texas at Austin. She currently lives in Austin with her family. No mention of another book. This might be her debut. Okay, and Sarah Shepard, the author of Pretty Little Liars, gives it a blurb saying, "Compulsive page-turner with a shocking twist. Get ready to stay up all night." I never know. My whole life, I've always been a little melancholy when I read blurbs on books saying it kept me up all night, because I stay up all night reading. So, but I understand the enormous sacrifice it is for the rest of you. Because, by 10:15, you're all going, and by 10:30 you're in bed and you're solidly limp-bodied, slack-jawed, unconscious until 8 the next morning. And when your alarm clock goes off at 8, you're groggy. Still, you want to keep sleeping, even having wasted that much time. But I understand it's a huge sacrifice to stay up all night reading. So I love it. All right, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on this. It sounds like young adult. I don't know if it is or not, but Razorbill, I think, is a young adult imprint. But one way or another, it doesn't matter. One way or another, we're gonna have to keep an eye on this. Lies You Never Told Me. If it really is a great beach read, that's fantastic. But if it's those other two things as well, the type of book you want to reread as soon as you finish it, and the type of book you want to press into the hands of your friends, that would be something, wouldn't it? That would be great. I'm not going to read it right away because it's too far away, but I will read it by and by, probably in the spring, and I'll let you know. So we have Lies You Never Told Me, which sounds like a debut, although I don't know why they wouldn't trumpet that if it was. And then The Immeasurable World by William Atkins, about the world's deserts. The vast stretches of world's deserts. And then, I admit, of course, this is the wins it for Steve, the Apostles of Revolution by John Ferling, the great John Ferling, he's a great biography, he's a great writer of Revolutionary era American history. So there you go. They're not a dud in the bunch, as far as I can tell, at least in terms of promise. So I guess we'll see. I will do some reading, and we'll see. Maybe I'll look back on this mail haul with great glee. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up for there, and I will see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.